MMA Rants and Raves, Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero 2 for the UFC Middleweight Championship of the World. Guys, let's talk about this fight. Well, here we are again. It looks like these two guys are going to meet each other once again. And once again, it's going to be for the UFC Middleweight Championship, but this time it's going to be for the undisputed Middleweight Championship. This is a very interesting belt. It just seems that it's floating around between many different fighters. I mean, it's a very, very interesting thing how this belt is like just floating around between a bunch of fighters. Just to look at these two guys, you really have to take a lot out of that first fight. I mean, I predicted that Whittaker would win. I was saying that this guy is the real deal a long time ago. And, people didn't agree. They said Romero is so tough. It's a long time coming. He has all these credentials. And I'm like, listen, Whittaker is just a different kind of athlete. There are guys out there that are really, really good, and then there are guys that are just on another level, and he's one of those guys. And you could just see how good he is when he faced Jacare. You see how good Jacare is. I mean, Jacare is one of those guys where he fights tough guys, and then he's just on another level. I mean, look at his last fight against Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson is a real, legit, super tough MMA quality middleweight. And I'm telling you, the way they fought, it just looked like he was on another level. It looked like Jacare was just on another level. That's just the way it is. That's the kind of fighter he is. He's just part of an elite type of fighter. And you could just see in the Strikeforce days, he is a former champion, and he's constantly in that top-ranked type of situation. He's one of those guys that are just at the top. And that's just the way he is. He's that good. Now just look at Whittaker's fight against Jacare. You could just see how good this guy is. You could see everything about him, his footwork, his chin, his cardio. His speed, his hand speed, his kicks. They just get up there so quickly. Very sneaky, very quick kicks that he gets up and gets him down right away and he's back on his feet. Very versatile middleweight. This guy moved up from welterweight. He's not a huge middleweight. But when you're not that big and muscular, what you have is speed. This guy is so fast. And he's got crazy takedown defense, and he's crazy athletic and acrobatic ability. He could just pop back to his feet so quickly, and then all that strength and energy that you use to get him down is just wasted. And this is how he wins fights. I've seen it time and time again. He's just so tough. And he basically defeated Romero on one leg. His leg was in bad shape, and he was still able to win that fight. Now, if he comes in healthy, imagine what he's going to be able to do. You really have to think about that. And Romero is also aging. He's about 40. Now, I know he's a different kind of athlete. I do agree with that. He's very gifted. He also has a lot of speed and explosion. But he's facing a guy who I think is even faster. He has to catch up with Whittaker. Whittaker is just so versatile. He was not able to deal with his quickness and his speed. Now, of course, with all this being said, we know how powerful Romero is. We saw it against Rockhold. I don't know what the deal is with Rockhold. I just don't think Rockhold is the same fighter he was. There's something going on with him. It's not that I'm not giving Romero credit for that win. It was a dominant win, and it shows how tough Romero is, but I don't know, there's something not right with Rockhold. He's not the guy that fought in Strikeforce. He's not the guy that fought Chris Weidman. It seems like there's something wrong. He's on a decline. When he's facing top-level competition recently, he has not been able to perform well. He's getting knocked out. He just does not look the same as he was. As far as Whittaker, he suffered some sort of a serious illness like a staph infection, which can be very, very serious, but if he comes in this fight healthy, and I'm sure he's going to know if he's healthy or not, it just seems that this is his time. This kid, it just seems like he has everything going for him. Like I said, the chin, the quickness, the well-rounded game, the hand speed, the kicks that he has, which have a lot of power. Putting a guy like Jacare away is like so hard to do. That was a crazy, crazy fight. I just couldn't believe it. I knew Whittaker was good, but that was like unbelievable. And now it's believable because we just know how good this kid is. So he's got all this going for him, and also world-class cardio. I don't see this kid getting tired. He could take a fighter deep into fights and be the fresher fighter, and that is not good for Romero, a guy who has gotten very tired and a guy who gasses later in fights. I mean, his cardio looked okay, actually. It looks like he's working on that against Robert Whittaker. But, if you're fighting this guy and he's running circles around you, hitting you with a lot of shots, and you're in the fourth and fifth round, a guy like Romero is going to get tired. So, of course, people are always going to say he has to get him out of there early. Well, he's going to have to try to find some kind of strategy to attack early in this fight. But it might not be enough. Listen, if Whittaker comes in healthy into this fight, like I said, the last fight, it was like he fought Romero on one leg. If he comes into this fight healthy, I think he's going to be successful once again. And finally, this middleweight belt will be solidified and he'll be the undisputed champion. So I'm going to go to prediction here. I have Robert Whittaker to win this fight. I would like to know what you think about the fight. Please leave your comments. Please subscribe. Please like up this video. And thank you for tuning in.